Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I have a rather interesting 2 versus 2 that I played on the Tranquil Streams map. Now, my ally in this battle is, as has recently been so on my channel, Chrisib, and our opponents are Dragonfly996 and FG or FSG Trader. So, basically, immediately what you're going to notice is that they are obviously planning on meeting up and double teaming me. So that being said, Chris is going to come over and help me out. Now, one thing or two things I want to say about this battle real quick, or maybe not necessarily about this battle. One, you guys probably have noticed I've been posting a ton of 2 versus 2s on my channel recently, and you might be wondering why I haven't been doing as many 1 versus 1s. And the reason for this is this game has, to tell you the truth, kind of gotten boring for me. So 2 versus 2s are the way that I find it interesting, you know, working with someone, playing with friends, and that's, you know, get some good gameplay, and that's what I post. Although I have been messing with some new army builds to enjoy myself more in 1 versus 1s, and I will have some footage of that for you guys. And in fact, I do actually, just haven't yet made the videos of it, so expect some 1 versus 1s pretty soon here. But as you can see, these guys pretty quickly, you'll notice, are gonna do the basically amazing tactic of noob boxing with matchlocks and bows and spear walls. And the disappointing thing about this was one was a gold 10 star, the other was a gold 5 star. So yeah, not that skilled, or not that smart of a strategy for someone so high. Another thing is they only brought 1 light cav. Meanwhile, my army has 4 cav, I believe, a fire cav, Yari cav. Okay, so 3, because this is a medium funds battle due to the prestige people, and my 1 katana cav unit. Rest of my army is a Daikyo samurai, 5 Naginata attendants, 2 sword attendants, and 3 Nodachis. Chris here has got a different build than I do. He's got 2 pretty nice Yari cav, I believe, actually. Yeah, 1, 2, so both Yari cav, and then he's got a 2 Yori Ashigaru, my bad, a matchlock unit, some katana samurai, and a monk unit. And then his general is somewhere over here. He's got another monk. I believe this is his general. Yep, there it is. Our opponents, like I said, brought matchlocks, bows, and spears. And then this guy has some swords in the mix. Now, quickly, what you'll notice is that my bows are going to be supported by my general in stand and fight, and they are going to come forward and take on these 200 range bow monks, which are in fact superior to my Daikyo samurai, but thanks to them being trained on the wrong unit and my general being in stand and fight, my Daikyo are going to take them out relatively quickly. So you can see the fire coming in on them. And this battle, stupidest thing we could have done is charged right at them with that matchlock fire, and you'll see how we decide to approach that. But this is another good battle in my opinion, because it involved a bit more tactics than just the straightforward rush that is most common these days. So that's pretty much that. This bow unit is going to basically shred the bow monk, and they're going to rout. Or, well, they're not going to rout in the replay. They might, though. But, yeah, they pretty much disappear. And then I have an option here. This other bow monk is firing at me, and my unit's already depleted. Doesn't really stand a chance of winning this one. So what I'm going to decide to do in a second is train fire on the matchlocks, because I know I'm going to lose the bow fight, and at this point, if I do some damage to the matchlocks, it'll help us greatly later. As you can see, they've got quite a few of them, and they have perfected their new box formation. This guy over here has got, you know, a full spear thing going through the woods. You can't really see it, though, because of the hidden units. And there is Hannibal. Everyone go sub to his channel. Good commentator there. Good friend too. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So my bows are going to go down, and at this point is where I make the decision that is going to determine the rest of the events of the battle. I'm going to move my army to the right over here, and Chris is going to take my position. So what he's going to be doing is attacking across this field, and there is actually some good hill cover from the matchlock fire until he gets up close. Now from over here where my army is, and I'll end up shifting like this, I'll be attacking through the woods and completely on the flank of one of these, or one end of the box. And that negates, you know, their full force fighting mine is not available, and the matchlock fire is cut down by the trees. So that was my basic approach to it. But real quickly I'm going to fast forward so that we can get this going a little bit faster. But what you're going to see is we planned this out very carefully. Once my army was over here, we had to get this pretty much just right. And how this is going to work is I'm going to have all my attendants up front, because remember, they don't really have cav, one light cav, so I don't really need spear protection. And the goal is when I charge, these attendant units will hit here, but these guys are going to wrap all the way down this line, and the hope is that they will catch some of these match blocks, or at least push them back so that Chris does not take any fire when coming forward. So basically, I'm the meat shield here, and you know, that's just how it worked out sometimes. Sometimes you gotta get knocked down to win the battle. So here, he's just arranging his attacking formation. We were gonna figuring out to get these Naginata attendants up front and stuff, but I'm gonna try to suck up as much of this matchlock fire as possible with these pretty much worthless units. And you know, without Cab being there's really not much they can do. On the other hand, my Nodachis following in with a bonsai charge are going to be really effective in cutting through spear walls. Then I've got the attendants and the cav to back them up. And this katana cav is going to have a really interesting role, and I'll talk about that when it comes about. But you guys will see that cav isn't always used the way that you might think it is, and hopefully most of you know this. So yeah, I have a Yari cav back in the trees here, but they have some matchlocks facing backwards to guard against that, which is good because it does take matchlocks off the front. So here what we had is cav isn't really effective against all of these spears, so Chris is going to charge his cav because we decided he should send in one to suck up the fire, and they do end up making it there and stopping the matchlock fire while the rest of his army approaches. Now as you can see here, my attendants are moving forward, and for some reason they're all going right here. I actually had these two guys moving down along the line like this, but at this point we've committed to attack and there is no going back, so my Nodachi are going to go in bonsai. You just see some people getting absolutely cut up, and that's going to be the end of this Yari Samurai unit. And across the line, you know, bonsai Nodachi into a spear wall. Yes, it's a spear wall, but they're not going to hold that long against these Nodachis, and so that's basically the beginning of the end now that I'm engaged. Remember, I also have these backup sword attendants and my general in stand and fight. And then here is what I want to show with the katana cav. So right now if I charged it in, it might help, but these are spear units, not really much it can do. So what I'm going to do is dismount them, and now I have another katana samurai unit with 23 attack. So it's in fact a very powerful katana samurai unit. 15 defense, 23 attack. It's better than a regular samurai unit and cheaper actually, although with less numbers. But in this case it's better than it would have been on horse. As you can see, Chris is gonna hit this line in waves and start just cutting through. Here I have a cav unit in wedge to punch through some of the spears in the back, and I'm gonna do some damage in these woods, getting into the matchlocks and the spears there. One problem that arose for me though was this melee general right here, I believe. Yeah, in a bit, or maybe it already did, it's going to pop a bonsai, but this melee general just would not go down. Now, I obviously knew that I was going to be able to cut through it eventually, but at this point in time, it was just holding me up and, quite frankly, being annoying. So yeah, we've got Chris's matchlocks, here, dealing some damage, although they can't really fire because mainly my men are in the way. But at this point, we're going to break through, and lesson learned, don't noob box, because 1, it's easy to outmaneuver, 2, it's just plain annoying, and you know, that's pretty much it. Just don't do it. Just, yeah, hate noob boxes. But in here you can see all the destruction that happened in these woods. Quite a few dead bodies throughout here. And now our armies are going to go forth into this final Avatar's bodyguard. And that's going to be the end of it. Aside from this Yari Samurai unit that they sent all the way around, so that could have been a help in the battle. Might not have turned the tide, but could have held for them a bit longer. And what's going to happen to this is it's just going to get shot up by these matchlocks, which were coming to intercept it. So you can just see the wreckage on the field of what once was a grand strategy called noob boxing. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the battle, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys saw that this might not be the best strategy for you guys to use, the defenders that is, and hopefully you guys also saw that basically there are ways to work around stuff and to just take your time. Just because you have a rush build doesn't mean you have to rush immediately. Had we just went on in and rushed like crazy, that would have been the end of us, and their new box would have been successful. So that's all for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a comment and a rating and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.